G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today in front of me on the bench I have one of XLF's latest release RC trucks. This is a brushless monster truck. They claim it's a 110 scale 4x4 and this is called the XLF X04A Max. Now I believe this is a upgraded version of last year's X04 brushless model, and also the X03, which I actually reviewed last year, which was a truggy version. They state this particular model has quite a few upgrades over those previous models from last year, and I've actually got some of the info here which I'll share with you. Some of the upgrades that they are claiming with the X04 or X03A Max models is that they've upgraded the front and rear diffs to a better alloy material. So they're claiming it's going to be more durable. They've also added a bigger battery with this one, which is a 2200 milliamp hour 2S LiPo compared to last year's model, which was only a 1500 milliamp hour. And also the ESC on this one is an upgraded 45 amp ESC over last year's. I think it was a 40 amp ESC. Now it is a 2-in-1 ESC, but this one has an included fan, so to keep the temps cool. Also we have a heat sink on the motor as well, compared to last year's model that did not have one. Upgraded metal steering cups, and yeah, a new 4-channel remote. So yeah, on the other side there is the truggy model, which is the X03 Max. Okay guys, so I received this one from Banggood for review, guys, so I'd like to thank them for sending it out, and let's see what we get in the box. Okay guys, so here's the XLF X04A Max in the background here. We'll get to that in a second. Let's have a look at what else we get. We get the instruction manual, obviously. Most important parts of these exploded diagrams, okay, which if you have to work on the truck, they come in very handy to look at, okay. And also at the back we have the full parts list with the parts numbers, just like many other RCs. Alright, we also have this little foam block. Now what this is for is if you're running slightly smaller batteries, you can build up the battery bay with this block, and it actually has double-sided sticky tape there. Okay, so we get that as a spacer. Also threw in a couple of spare parts here. This is actually a steering linkage, okay, for the steering, and we also got the servo horn included. Alright, so they include that. We also have this body mount, as well as the you know, the shock mount as well, a spare one of those, okay, for the body posts as well. And also we have 2 screwdrivers here. They're different sizes, full set of body clips, and an alloy nut wrench here to take off the wheels. And we also have a couple of spare screws in there, and the USB charger. Now to the remote transmitter that comes with this XLF truck. This is their new improved transmitter compared to last year's model. I've used this transmitter a couple of times with the XLF F18, was the first time I actually tried one of these transmitters out, and more recently with the XLF F22A monster truck as well. Now I don't mind these transmitters, they're a lot better than last year's model, which only had 3 channels and basically 1 steering trim dial. Now this new controller actually has 3 different dials. We have the steering trim, okay. We also have a percentage trim, which is your throttle trim or dual rate, so you can set it to the, you know, low speed or high speed. We also have a dual rate trim for the steering as well. Also we have a throttle reverse and steering reverse, and the on and off switch. Pretty decent little controller here. It's got a nice foam pad on this one as well, and this one takes 4 AA batteries. So not a bad transmitter, especially compared to last year's models, which were pretty ordinary. Now onto the XLF X04 truck. We have oil-filled shocks. They don't feel too bad. They could do with a bit of oil, I think. We also have some foam-filled tires here. These are a very common style tire. They're actually the same ones on the XLF F22A actually, except they've got a red rim around them rather than blue, but they're pretty decent compound, not too bad. There you can see the oil-filled shocks. On the back here you can see we have metal diff cups, okay, because these are metal differentials, as well as pretty decent thick CVDs on this one, as well as metal hub carriers. It also has a wheelie bar on the back as well. And up the front is pretty much the same. We've got all metal CVDs, adjustable turnbuckles just here, so you can adjust the camber or the toe out. And on the bottom here we have a plastic chassis, except on the front here they've got a alloy skid plate for any nosedive impacts off the jumps. Okay, a large bumper here on the front, seems pretty rigid. And yeah, we've got the same body shell design as the previous XLF trucks. Pretty decent looking body on this one. It's got Spirit Reckless Racing here. Okay, so we've got some clear windows on this one as well. So yeah, not a bad design on this one. I don't mind it at all. I like the color combos with this particular shell. Okay, so let's take the body pins off and have a look underneath. Okay guys, so let's have a look under the hood here, and immediately I can see a change with this chassis on the inside here. See the honeycomb design? Now that is to make it more reinforced. So that's a bit of a change there. That's the last year's model didn't have that. We have the new ESC, which is a 45 amp ESC. Also got a auxiliary port there for some LED lights. Push button control on this one, not a switch. We have a 3-wire servo. Now I believe this servo is a 19 gram, 2.2 kilogram servo, just there. And on the back here we have the same brushless motor as last year, which is a 2847 3000 kV. But like I said at the start of the video, they've actually included a heat sink. Last year's model didn't have that. As you can see, we've got a rather thick center drive shaft. You can see it just in between there. And I've had these cars apart and it's pretty thick compared to some other different branded models. And yeah, runs off a Dean's plug obviously. And let's have a look at this battery. I like how they've actually included a Velcro strap with this year's model. Last year they had like a brace that clipped in at the front here and just swiveled out, but I actually like this better with the Velcro strap, because that way it'll be easier to fit larger lipos. So here is the lipo here. It is a 2200 milliamp hour 7.4 volt lipo. Now there is no C rating on this, but it might be around, you know, between 20 to maybe 30 C 2S lipo here. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's got 2200 milliamp hours, so it's 700 milliamp hours larger than last year's model, which was only a 1500 milliamp hour lipo. So going to get a lot more runtime out of this one. So yeah, it looks like they've put a few good upgrades on this one compared to last year's models. I mean, they do state the diffs are improved as well, so definitely check it out when I take this for a drive test, guys. So I've put the battery back in. I'm just going to power it on just to see the speed of the servo. We've got a bit of a chime there on the new ESC. It seems pretty responsive. And let's see the power of this one. Yeah. Wow. Not bad. Maybe it will do a wheel stand. That's what the wheelie bar's for, eh? Alright. So there we go, guys. That was a quick first look of the brand new XLF X04A brushless RC truck. I'm actually pretty happy to see that they have upgraded a few parts like they state in the specs. I really like how they've got the metal C-hub carriers there. Also, they've seemed to have beefed up the chassis there with the honeycomb design, which actually took me by surprise. I didn't expect that. Looks like they got a new servo there as well, new 3-wire servo. They've upped the amps on the new ESC to 45 amps, and they've included a fan rather than last year's model, which was I believe a 40 amp ESC. It had no fan, so I did have overheating problems with the X03 Truggy last year. They've claimed to upgrade the diffs. We'll soon see about that. I'm going to take it for a bash test, and they've added this new controller, which is pretty decent, especially over last year's 3-channel controller, which only had a steering trim, and that was basically it. You had no control over the speed, the throttle, you know, response as far as, you know, high or low speed, and you didn't have a dual rate either. You're just stuck with a steering trim, and that was it. It seems like it's got pretty decent power in my hand. You know, it's trying to lift the front wheels up, so we'll see if it can perform some wheelies there when I take it out. So yeah, I'm not too sure of the speed claim on this one. It doesn't say it on the box, but I'll definitely do a speed run as well on this one, so stay tuned for that. I'll run it on 2S and 3S, of course, and we'll see what we can get out of this particular brushless RC truck. So stay tuned, guys, for the upcoming running video and review on this particular truck and some other RCs as well that I've got coming to the channel very, very soon. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and I'll catch you on the next one, guys. As always, I'll leave a link in the description below with any coupon codes I can find. This one did come from Banggood, and I'll leave the Truggy listing as well in the description below. So until next time, guys, happy RCing, and I'll catch you on the next one.